Please welcome Robert Schneider. Keep it going, come on. Hey everyone, as Dan said, my name is Robert Schneider, and every time I tell someone I'm a comedian, at least one person goes, you know, there's already a comic out there named Rob Schneider, right? I am aware of that. I'm also aware that besides sharing a name, him and I have lots of things in common. He was on Saturday Night Live. I watched him on Saturday Night Live. He starred in the movie Deuce Bigalow, Mal Gigolo. And for a brief period of time, my nickname was Douche Bigelow. He also has a popular catchphrase that goes, "You can do it." I have a less popular catchphrase. I hate Rob Schneider. As we were driving down here today, I saw someone tied a banner to an overpass that read, "My wife Janine is constantly cheating on me." I got really upset as I read that, really upset that he forgot to put her phone number on there. Janine sounds like my kind of woman, easy and married to somebody else. Yeah, I am single, and I think that's because I'm a shitty dater. That's where you're supposed to say, how shitty are you? So let's start that over again. I am a shitty dater. I am so shitty, I once told this woman that I loved her on our second date. Yeah, bonehead move, right? But get this. I was hoping she'd say the same words back to me. But no, she had to break my heart by saying, "Robert, I don't love you. There is another. For my heart and soul belong to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, sent by his Father from the heavens above to die for our sins." I was like, that sucks. At least my dad was cooler. He sent me to college so I could party and try to get laid, which in my opinion is a whole lot better than dying. So if you're keeping score, that's Robert 1, Jesus 0. She then yelled, "Well, Jesus could do miracles like turn water into wine." I was like, that's no big deal. I can turn money into wine. Beer, whiskey, rum, weed, coke, crack, crank, horse hash, heroin, methadone, meth, whippets, acid, bath salts, molly. You know, pretty much anything that'll F you up. Robert 2, Jesus 0. She then screamed, "Jesus saves." And I was like, babe, he's not the only one. In fact, this very morning, Robert saved 15% on car insurance. Robert 3, Jesus 0. Game, set, match. Robert wins. Yeah. She gave me a very different reaction. She actually started shouting words that would score me big points in Scrabble, like heresy, satanic, deplorable, before storming out of the restaurant and my life. Moral of the story is, if you're Jewish, it's probably best not to date anyone you meet on Christian Mingle. Big takeaway from that joke is I am Jewish, and I'm going to admit I hated growing up Jewish for lots of reasons. The biggest one was I had to wear a yarmulke all the time. First time I took it off, probably should have left it on. Since I'm Jewish, I love saving money. That cliche is true. That's why I joined Sam's Club. Anyone here a member? Woo! Dude in the fedora. Then you know how great that place is. I mean, they have everything there, right? They have everything there, from maternity clothes to adult-sized coffins. I thought they should put the two of them into one aisle and call it the before and hereafter department. Let's see what else I can tell you. I'm an avid reader. I've actually memorized my favorite book of all time, the Judy Blume classic, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And you guys are in for a treat, because I'm going to recite it to you in its entirety right now. Lady on the cell phone, you might want to put that down so you can listen to this.
I'm listening. I can do multiple things.
That is awesome that you are a multitasker, but I would prefer that your eyes are on me and not on your phone. So as I said, I've memorized that book. I'm going to recite it to you in its entirety starting right now. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, by Judy Blume. Published 1970, Simon & Schuster. This book is dedicated to my mother. Chapter 1. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Followed by 225 pages of silence. For those of you not laughing, that's my atheist joke. And now here's my joke about trying to learn German, which I'm using this app called Duolingo. And the other day it taught me this phrase. Ich habe keinen Frau, aber ich habe eine Fisch. Which when translated becomes the most pathetic sentence in the history of sentences. Because it says, I don't have a wife, but I have a fish. The two have nothing in common with each other. I mean, I wish it taught me a more uplifting sentence like, I don't have a wife, but I'm perfectly happy being single. Or I don't have a wife, but I have friends with benefits, which is way better than having a single wife. Instead, it taught me the most authoritative way to say, I'm a big loser. And get this, I already know I'm a big loser because I don't even have a fish. To help me forget how big of a loser I am, I like to smoke a lot of weed. And when I do, I have some pretty interesting thoughts. May I share them with you? Cool. At Olive Garden, they say when you're here, you're family. Maybe that's why when my waiter went out for smokes, he never came back. I can prove the world isn't flat. Because if it were, there'd be millions of TikTok videos of kids trying to hold on to the edge of it for as long as humanly possible. And when they eventually fall into the nothingness of space, these will be their last words. I regret nothing unless you don't smash that like and share button. I'm not afraid of getting abducted by aliens and getting anally probed. I'm more afraid of getting abducted by aliens and them saying, let's just be friends. Speaking of drugs, who remembers the first time their parents found their stash and busted them? You in the neon straitjacket shirt. How old were you? I'm sorry, how old were you?
I'm 21 now.
I was 20 when it happened to me, which makes me a late bloomer. And I remember my mom yelling for me to get my butt downstairs, and when I got to the living room, her and my dad were sitting on the couch looking pissed. My dad was holding my vials of Coke as he yelled, "What is this?" Since I was 20, I thought I was smarter than my parents and could lie my way out of the situation. So I said, "Mom, Dad, it's baking powder. I use it to brush my teeth." My dad then yelled, "Baking powder doesn't make your mom's gums go numb." I was busted. And when you're busted, the only thing you can do is tell the truth and beg for leniency. So I said, "Mom, Dad, it's cocaine. Please don't punish me." My mom was like, "Why do you have it? Are you an addict?" I'm like, "No, I don't use the stuff. I just have it to get women." My mom was like, "You don't need Coke to get women. You're a charming young lad. Women are always coming over here to see you." And I was like, "Yeah, that's because I give them free Coke." After I said that, my mom started tearing up as she turned to my dad and said, "Aw, he's using the same move you used the night we met." I learned a lot about my parents that night. Like they're thieves because they never gave me my Coke back. Oh man, you might think that would be the most difficult conversation in my life, but it wasn't. That would be last summer when I had to tell my best friend that his daughter was doing porn. He did not believe me at first. But after I showed him her clips on Pornhub and her OnlyFans page, things got really uncomfortable. He actually started crying in front of me and then attempted to punch a hole in the wall. As he was doing that, all I could think of was, man, I'd probably react the same way if I discovered my 18-year-old daughter was making way more money than me. I do love porn, but it is not my favorite genre of film. That would be horror movies. Love horror movies. Recently discovered my 15-year-old niece is a fan of them as well. So I called her up on the phone and said, "Hey, Lisa, what's your favorite scary movie?" And she's like, "Oh, Uncle Robert, it's The Purge." I was like, "Well, that's an obvious choice since you're bulimic." My sister-in-law hates that joke, which is why I continue to tell that one and this next one. My 18-year-old nephew recently announced to the family that he's joined the Army. Not because he's patriotic and wants to serve this great country. No, he's joining because he kicks ass at Call of Duty and pretty much completes every mission on the first try. He figures with mad skills like that, he'll become a national hero in no time. I'm going to tell you that I've never been more proud that I am no longer the dumbest member in my family. However, they still consider me a massive screw-up. Biggest thing I ever screwed up doing was when I tried killing myself when I was 16. It's about to get dark. Let me paint the picture for you. I stood on the table in the center of my bedroom, tied the rope to a light fixture attached to the ceiling, placed the noose around my neck, and I jumped. Instead of meeting my maker, I met the floor head first, bringing down the light fixture and part of the ceiling. My mom definitely heard the loud crash because she ran upstairs, barged into my room, and had this look of concern on her face as she stared at me and the damage that I inflicted upon the house. After several long seconds, she yelled, "Robert, if you didn't quit Boy Scouts, you would have gotten your rope-time merit badge and would have been able to finish what you started. Now get your butt off the floor and help me clean up your mess." Ma'am, you looked a little distraught over that one. I just want you to know I'm joking. I'm just messing with you. My mom never offered to help. She's a peach. I normally end with that joke, but you folks seem pretty cool. Especially you in the Burning Church t-shirt. So I'm going to tell you a dirty joke. You folks like dirty jokes? Cool, I'm going to tell you about the third time I ever had sex. I know what you're thinking. Why don't you tell us about the first time? Well, because that would be a really quick joke. This one's a little bit longer. Like my dick, what's up? I was 20 years old and I hooked up with this really cute punk rock girl I met at a party. After I gave her free coke, one thing led to another, and that led us back to her dorm room. As soon as we got there, clothes started flying off. And after she ripped off her bra, because back then I had no idea how to unclasp one, still don't, I saw something that disgusted me. A swastika tattooed to her left breast. Now, I was 18 and I really wanted to touch those boobs, along with other parts of her body. But I also started thinking I should probably get out of here. This is not going to end well. My junk, however, had other thoughts. It was like, bro, we don't know if this is ever going to happen again. We're going to stay here. We're going to do it. And then after an appropriate amount of cuddling and small talk, we are going to go back to our dorm room and feel guilty about this, because that's what we're good at. Now, I couldn't argue with my junk's logic, so I slowly sauntered over the bed, got on top of her, and we started making the sweet, sweet love. 45 seconds later, a new record, our love story reached its climax. And as I was rolling off of her, our eyes locked, she smiled and said, "What are you thinking about?" To which I replied, "I bet when you chant 'fuck the Jews' at your little rallies, this isn't what you were picturing." My name is Robert Schneider. Thank you.